As the warmer weather approaches, we see ourselves in a new light. Perhaps our smile isn't as sunny and as bright as we had hoped, or a tooth is a little out of line, or maybe some of the metal is just peeking out from an old dental procedure. Dentist Steve Marsh is here to help illuminate our smile. So welcome back to the show.
Lori.
Dental techniques have changed over time a lot, right? So can you give us a little history of how that evolved?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've been practicing 41 years. My father was a dentist for 50 years before that. And we've seen a lot of changes. And it's the biggest thing besides technique is materials. So I brought some examples and I thought I'd show them. This is, in my hand, you can see an old gold crown. I call it an old gold crown. And then a porcelain on metal crown. And they're right next to each other. And they were very strong, pretty durable, but people, as you mentioned, the metal peeks out. After time, the gums recede oftentimes, and you see this metal, and it's really unsightly, especially what's in the front. So metal was good for the back. And now what's happened is we've gone to almost all porcelains. This is actually a combination. I have two placed together, but these are crowns. That's a crown, and we also have a porcelain veneer. And what's happened is these porcelains that were beautiful are now getting much stronger. So we not only can use porcelains in the front the way we used to, but we're also using them in the back, depending on what a person needs and wants.
So how do you decide what's best for a patient?
Well, it's really about function and beauty. So in the back, we want something strong. So we're using a lot of this zirconium, which is about 4 times stronger than our conventional porcelains. We can do it very confidently in the back. As we move anteriorly towards the front and people want something that's more polishable, a little prettier, there's some materials that work better and have some strength, but also give a beautiful reflection and a very natural look, which is what everybody's going for.
Absolutely. So can you give us some examples of how you use different porcelains?
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to look at it. So this is a patient who came to me when he was younger. He actually had injured his front teeth. He had a couple of root canals. They did a porcelain on metal crown. You can also see dimensionally things don't look right. So we changed those out. We did an all porcelain crown in the front, and the 2 teeth next to him we call the laterals. We use porcelain veneers. We did the gum reshaping. We used a laser to bring that up, and we got beautiful proportions, and now we have something that's strong and wonderful looking. And in the lowers, we whiten them and just reshape them. So sometimes it's not about materials, about technique. And that's a perfect example. So every so often someone loses a tooth. And this is a woman who came in. She had a root canal. It went bad, which sometimes happens long-term with a root canal. The tooth had to be taken out. So what we did in the lower, we can see we just did, again, just some reshaping. And that's an all porcelain bridge. That's using that zirconium. Again, dimensionally, now we have much better dimensions. And it's also very strong. So there's no metal to show, no metal framework. And she loves it, and her significant other thought it was amazing, and now he's become a patient as well. And here's an interesting one. It's somebody I've known for years, didn't want to do anything with his teeth. He ended up losing one of those teeth. Again, a tooth that had a root canal 30 years ago. The tooth ended up loosening up. We used that same zirconium in the front. We did 4 teeth. That's all we had to do to give him that beautiful smile. He also was bothered by that triangle. We call it a black triangle in dentistry, and he wanted that filled in, and we used a pink porcelain with the zirconium to fill it in. So he looks natural, and I always see their pictures on Facebook, and he's smiling, looking as wonderful as his wife does. And lastly, this is a case of just porcelain veneers. And we use porcelain veneers on the bottom and on the top. This is a patient in her 60s. She said, I really want a beautiful smile. I can't stand going like this. Again, no braces at this standpoint, at this time. So we were able to do this with some porcelain veneers, some reshaping to give her a beautiful smile and something that she's proud of. And again, her significant other, we have a lot of significant others these days, is very pleased with how she looks looking across the table.
They were amazing makeovers.
Thank you.
Make sure your smile is ready to shine by calling Steve. His number is next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com.